Amar is a global product evangelist with polyworks and seasoned expert in increasing the value of 3D measurement data. He possesses 23 years of experience in CAD/CAM, specialized in digital transformation. He helped more than 1,000 manufacturing companies to move from 2D drawings to 3D CAD, upgrade from manual machining to CAD software, and transform traditional quality processes into fully digital 3D processes. So I would like to request you please, oh, he's already there.
I'd like to invite the panelists right on stage right away, starting with Mr. Vivek. He specializes in plastic mold manufacturing and design, and his expertise has been pivotal in the success of iMold, a tooling company operating under the banner of the successful JSB Polymers. In plastics engineering from the US, and for 25 years of experience specializing in the area of new product development for plastic companies, serves the engineering interests of automobile and of course defense and medical industry. So a great welcome, Mr. Nanivadekar. It's awesome to have you here on stage with us. The next guest I'd like to invite Mr. Vivek Nanivadekar. He has a great 40 years of experience and his journey from being a junior level engineer to now an executive director is a testament to his dedication and his leadership. He has spent the last more than 10 years being a very integral part of the successful company called Fibro, and he's been guiding towards the company's digital endeavors. I'm sure that today we'll be talking a lot about his experience over what has changed over the last 40 years and where we're seeing that trajectory go. And the next guest that I'd like to invite on stage, Mr. Pala, who has over 26 years of experience with hands-on engineering, design, manufacturing, and project management. She has a great acumen and fascinating understanding of the automotive business with product design, product life cycle, everything ranging from concept to styling to designing, engineering, validation, verification, pretty much everything in the cycle of R&D. So with that, I'd like to go into the and have our discussion and of course, to questions. First question that I go individually, starting with in order of direction, starting with you, sir, is we're talking about automotive and beyond. As I already said, that we're looking at 60% of showrooms already catering to the automotive segment, which is a big number, 60% of the overall business. Can you put a little bit light on what we mean when we say beyond?
Yeah, you already introduced me, say a lot. The challenge is what is bullying I have seen in my life in the last 30 years. I started my career as an employee in the packaging division. And that the journey started there. I was very young that time, hardly 22 years. And it was the revolution starting in Indian market, packaging with involved. So there, if you look back in 1930 and early 2000, you used to see the PET containers, mostly they are metal containers. Today you hardly see any metal containers. And this journey started by one of our members I with my colleague sitting next to you, Mr. Madhav, who was the head of this division. So there is a company called High-Tech Plastic, most probably many of you will be knowing. It is the Asian paint company. The Asian paint with the backward integration getting into the packaging, inward packaging. Because they were thinking, why is so much of plastics going into their packaging? Because the packaging itself is costing so high for selling the paint in the market. So THEME concept, the chairman himself has a dream to bring it to India. So how to bring it THEME in a different shape to replace the metal container with a plastic container. So just imagine if a little bit of knowledge I am just trying to throw here. You have to, in injection molds, it is a straight THEME container. Metal containers are very cylindrical. There is no draft angle in the sidewalls. So making plastic containers on that design, it was really challenged to find anybody in India making this. So he went all the way to TAGMA to find a person who has developed a product in one container and which is pure cylindrical, zero draft, purely zero draft, up to a 4-liter size, which is roughly, if I remember, 202 mm is the height. So there it was the challenge, and we worked with it. And the THEME mold, when we started cylindrical with a collaboration company, we made the molds. Some in Australia, some in Portugal, in different sectors. Then we had an opportunity, why not to get into the taper bell, which is a traditional, because this has a limitation go up to 4 liters size. You can't make bigger than 4 liters size. And the market requirement is 1 liter and 4 liter. If you go to any paint bucket, they will say 1 liter, then 4 liter. Then it comes to 20 kg, 10 kg, and that's it. I'm just quickly coming to the thin world, where this we have played the role in the market as a tool maker. We reduced the part weight, which used to be 1.2 kg or 1.3 kg. We brought it down to 700 grams and 650 grams for a 20 liter, 20 kg bucket. How it is possible? Because of the tool and the combination of the raw material strength. It used to be generally SGP, which is a high viscosity material. We bought it polypropylene copolymer, which is the MFI is very high, and we use high MFI up to 12 to 16 MFI material, and we will sustain making those kind. Now I'm just a little touching the cooling factor on this. These toolings are really different. The traditional way of making the taper buckets and the buckets we started making for packaging of the paint industry is completely different. I can't just explain the entire design right here, but it has a lot of engineering. Today we see, in this market, thin world, it has moved a lot. And there is a lot to come because everything needs a packaging. The rigid packaging has to grow in a very, the market is growing in rigid packaging. So what I see is we are all focusing with automotive sector. Now people should come with innovative ideas to get into this packaging, tooling for the packaging industry. That is one direction we should work together. Now the second journey which I have started is after this packaging I got into molding business. And from molding now I am into a tooling company. Just 1.5 years, 2 years back I started a tooling company. That is again a challenge I took it because of the COVID. A lot of OEMs, automotive sector, they were depending on China for the tool manufacture. So we took this opportunity. We have opened a company called iMold, which he has mentioned. This company is a state-of-the-art facility in Pune, Ranjangaon, and where we are making injection molds. I just want to say a few numbers. In the very first year, we have crossed more than 100 molds. In the very first quarter of this year, we have already ordered in 197 molds. So this is where this the move in the automotive sector is happening. But nothing, we should not confine ourselves into the automotive. I propose people from tooling line should diversify to other sectors like packaging, medical, and many other things. My co-panelists will also speak about this. This is all important.
Thank you. I think that's a motivation story to start with. To say that, hey, have something that's already happening. It's not something you've been doing it for quite some time already. The thing was, how many years ago?
Now 20
years ago. So it's not something. I'd like to take this discussion further, diving in a little bit more deeper. My next question to Aditya about what are the growth opportunities for the other domains? And this is a question that we can all take maybe a couple of minutes each to really look at the different options that we have. So, growth opportunities, what are the other domains?
Good afternoon, everyone. I think possibly the last session before lunch, we will try to keep the interest alive. And thanks to the organizers for having a session on this topic, which I think is very, very important. So, Automotive and Beyond. So, we've been associated with the industry for the last 25 years. I'm sure everyone has heard about the 3D printing technology. And around 25 years ago, this technology was at its nascent stage. And at that time, our go-to market used to be the people having access to 3D CAD. You know, that was the level. And now, today in 2023, we are talking about advanced manufacturing technologies, and the industry has come a full circle. So that's very heartening to see. The automotive industry, in fact, has grown by leaps and bounds, and that has been a growth driver for the last 25 years. We have all witnessed. But to answer the question, going from here, I think as we discussed in the last couple of sessions as well, that aerospace and defense and specifically drone manufacturing for the drone industry, that's growing by more than 500% year on year. So I think there is an opportunity over there for tool makers like us to to identify components that can be manufactured for this specific industry by there are a lot of plastic components, metal components that are required for all these sunrise industry, as we will call them. So I think that is an area where if we drive our attention towards, will certainly help in looking beyond automotive.
Thank you so much, Aditi. Very quick question on that, because you come from a domain where you are using alternative or newer technologies. Do you see a resistance in terms of technology adoption, particularly in the tooling industry, because it's a legacy industry? There are people who in this industry that very passionately over generations, where the earlier part, before I got into tool making, the stories were usually grandfather to father, father to son. Whilst that is changing now, so in your experience, how has it been with new technology adoption, particularly in the tooling industry?
So, let me put it this way. Tooling industry, we were really primitive before, but the change has been quite fast. So I'm sure the adoption to the technology has been good at a very fast pace. Could have been faster always, but yeah, there is skepticism. But people, because being tool makers at heart, one realizes that without advancing technology, we really cannot achieve the desired quality levels. Wishful thinking doesn't work. So technology adoption has to be there, and I think it has been taken up. For example, if I talk about 3D printing, earlier it was a case of trying to explain the need for 3D printing and related technology. Now it's reverse. Now customers come to us asking that, what is it you can give, how can you solve this problem? So there's no longer a question of why, it's why not.
Well, thank you so much. And I do agree with that, because last year at the International Tooling Summit at TAGMA, I think it was Jayan sir who presented about conformal cooling process with the 3D printing, and it was a phenomenal eye-opener for many coming there. Quickly moving on to Vivek sir, I have a question that goes a little bit more on the business side of things, because your spectrum of experience is quite vast. What I want to tap into from your experience is, what kind of infrastructure readiness should tooling companies look at when they have to migrate or scale up from a traditional automotive to a non-automotive domain?
There are a couple of things. I will give you a brief introduction about
Yes, please.
The Wipro is a 100% subsidiary of a German company, and we have been here in India for the last 15 years. I have been with Wipro for the last 10 years of it, and last 15 years we have been growing at the CAGR of 20 to 25%. So, before, when the tooling industry, we were quite nascent, and I would say as compared to European, still we are at the nascent stage. A lot of technologies in the tooling, what are used in developed country, we are still not there. For example, particularly tooling for hot forming. Now, hot forming, because see, most of you are in the plastic molding have come about sheet metal forming industry. So the hot forming codes are not really made in India. Secondly, the skin panels. Skin panels are still, the toolings are imported from China. So, in sheet metal particularly, there was the aerial cabinets. Rather, I would say we were the first one to manufacture cabinets in India. So, before that, everybody was importing the all cams from either Japan, China, Vietnam, or many other places. So, apart from tooling, apart from the automobile industry, as I see, there are the electronics now. The government has increased the duty on the computers, so that it will encourage the local people to start making the local computers and or toolings for thing. Then definitely defense is there. We heard in the last panel discussions, there are definitely defenses for a lot of opportunities. But many times, because of sometimes the bureaucracy and things that we don't have progress, we will not get, if you go and visit and you get the order, it doesn't happen that way. Probably you will have to make 10 visits to get the order from the defense company and come. So patience is quite important with the tool maker. At the same time, having got the order, you have to be really much faster on the fast track. This is what is required for the tool making industry from that point.
Thank you for that. It's a good pitch point to say patience before you get the order, and then go and put the board to deliver with high speed. Thank you so much for that answer. I will be coming back to advance on that question. But before that, I'd like to speak to Harisar and specifically ask him because his background is from very core engineering technology in terms of the skill itself. So, what role, in your opinion, does the skill set level play when it comes to adapting to automotive and beyond when we are speaking about this?
Thank you for giving this opportunity. Initially, when I started, we are coming with a variant company and representing decent products, which is 5 years old. So, apart from the traditional way of tool making, what I had was one of the innovation and R&D, which I always used to focus on. And post-COVID, what we did was the energy industry, especially the EV. So we have developed, and the way how the energy industry is growing is within a less space, we have to package more and more density. So that way we have developed very innovative cell holders, which we are currently exporting to Europe. And now I have started another startup where we are working on hydrogen fuel cell. So we are very much in line with our milestones, and we already have signed off MOUs with IIT and Vivek. So here, like when you say the skill or the technology, there's a galaxy of opportunities when it comes to energy industry. If you look at today's newspaper also, I think in Leh Ladakh, the municipality has launched hydrogen fuel cell operated buses. So now, what we are doing right now is a very small sized 5 kilowatt fuel cell, probably which will go into the smaller energy applications and are primarily focused on agri drones. So that's one of the needed requirement at the moment. We have done our analysis and the battery replacement cost and the capex is very high as compared to the solution that we are offering. So based on that, we started to innovate our hydrogen fuel cell. And here also we have come across several challenges, not only the plastic, the bipolar plate, which is the standard part, which is very thin, and the dimensional accuracy requirements are like 10 to 15 microns. So which we have successfully completed. We are one among that company who has completed the bipolar plate in India. So that's one of our success stories.
So yeah, from what I've heard just now, we're looking at everything ranging from consumer goods to emerging technologies itself, to the use of the opportunities in defense, as well as emerging technologies like what you said, EV and other associated trust technologies. If I could give your job to quickly say, if not automotive, which would be the next best bet for anyone who has to start a new room, what would you say? Starting with you.
Room is it is a versatile. The machines and equipment which is available, what we buy for a tool company, it can be used for any sector. Like what is your specialization, you will do it. Although my specialization was packaging, but to start with, I have gone with the automotive and agriculture. So this is the two sector I have selected in first place. So then next we will see where else. The major I see still the medical is not touched. Medical equipment is going to be another post, which still China is dominating the whole world. There are a lot of things in medical industry also getting converted from non-ferrous material to plastics. So that we can really work. People should work diversifying their technology. In automotive, yes, there are a lot of other options like lighting. There are a lot of technology happening. Many companies, and today I don't think any Indian company is making lenses. So there are also opportunities.
Thank you for that. So he's putting his money on trying to dive back into automotive as well and look at gaps which are already there in the industry, and then looking at medical. So when anyone's making notes, the first line is benefit. Aditya, what would be your opinion on next step?
See, what I would like to mention here is, like it rightly said, medical devices are very diverse, and still, specifically if you look at injection molding, there is a lot of stuff we are doing in India. But if you look at thin wall extrusions and multi-layer extrusions and multi-lumen extrusions, specifically which are used in catheters, it is completely imported into India. So that I think is a huge opportunity area. We've tried dabbling with it, we are still facing a lot of challenges. So that's one area where we Second, another area is of course the toy industry, where the government is also putting a lot of emphasis on, which is a huge volume driver for tooling industry as well. Another area where we are working on at Marco Polo for last several years is we try to fill a gap between final production tools and prototype. So we focus on developing prototype tooling for functional prototypes that are required by most industries to see the final component in the actual end-use material to start their testing and other application before the actual tooled up parts come in, so that compresses the time. So being in that space, you get to work with a variety of different industries. So that's why I feel that possibly the toy industry and other than injection molding, in the medical, in extrusions in specific, is where we should be looking forward.
Thank you so much. So that's 2 votes for medical, 1 new vote for toys, and 1 vote for a new, I would say, creative approach of the business model. Saying, don't look at the domain, look at your capability and make your spectrum wider. So that's a new one. Vivek sir, if you have to add to that, what domain is not automotive?
So, he has already mentioned toy and the surgical instrument. These are the approach. Looking at the population now, we are number 1. So the toy industry has sky is the limit what you can do. And government has already put the ban on the importing toys from China. Government has also established 2 corridors. One is in UP and another is in Chennai for toy products. So that is going to be unlimited because you will need toys of new dimension, new models every day, every night. So most of the tool makers would appreciate when there is a downtrend in the automotive industry. Start looking here. I don't know what to do. But this toys industry will be, it will not. So it will keep toolmakers busy around the clock.
Wonderful. So that's 3 votes for medical, 2 votes for toys, and very interesting business angle to that. We're looking at the population that's highly consuming. Toys have a shorter cycle time, so there's no need for new toys.
Adding to what Mr. Vivek said, we also have some small business of paper toys. We are associated with Titi Toys, and we are already doing it. And additionally, my suggestion or my vote would be on renewable energy and green energy. When it comes to energy sector, there are still a lot of areas where a lot of import is being happening. See, for example, the graphite bipolar plates, which so far no one is exploring in India. So that's an opportunity where we have to develop ceramic dyes, which is not a protein dye mold technology. So ceramic requires altogether a different method of manufacturing. So that's an opportunity to really look at.
Thank you. I have a quick question on that when you talk about the new concept of ceramic. You recommend this because it's less competition right now, or is it because the volume of the requirement is quite high?
The volume of requirement is going to be very high. Looking at the way how the hydrogen fuel is expanding, and the generation of hydrogen is going to be used for the energy transformation as well. So somewhere you require these energy storage devices or energy generators. So moving ahead, in the next few years, the requirement is going to be very high.
Thank you so much for sharing that point. I'll get to the next round, which will be a very quick one again, but a very important one to understand that when we're talking of tooling again, and I remember Sharma sir's speech from a couple of years ago again on the event, when we were talking about the tooling community, we're always referring to it as community. I was a council member at the Indian Institute of Compliment, and the word fraternity was used there, and it was not community. And there's a slight distance when we perceive it, right, when we're talking about it. To assist the entire community of businesses, where ideally one would think, the youngsters would think the business is a very individual decision where it's for one's gain. And here we are talking about a community-based approach towards businesses. Regulation, compliances, and assistance from government bodies is essential. So I would like to get individually your inputs on your experience with any of such government programs where you feel this is going to assist us to move into the beyond that we're talking about. So starting with this.
Yes, there are a lot of government initiatives on this. If you have a good room, if you see a lot of engineering colleges and ITI or diploma colleges, they don't have tooling specialist course. There are very few colleges which is dedicated to this. So that's the reason why government has scheme. If you have a good room setup, then you can join as an education. So if you have some, partly they are going to invest on your machinery, equipment, process, and you train the people, you can, let's say if there is 20 students, you can make an arrangement. Because today with the industry we are facing many challenges in the good tool maker and say analytics, programmers. This is a very big challenge, all tooling industry we are facing. It is not that only governments are doing. Because of this, people requirement is very big. And we don't, I am really, from last 1.5 years, we are struggling. We have machines now. We need to people to operate them. Because now we have adopted the technology. We see unless we have the technology, we should do now. So this initiative is there by government. One should take a drive. There are a lot of ways and procedures. And we know our government procedures. We should have patience to go through that procedure. But definitely we can contribute to the society, to the government.
Thank you so much. So I'm putting that point on education as the driving factor for that. What do you think, sir?
I think skill development is definitely a huge challenge facing almost every industry, but specifically for the tooling industry, where we need specific variety of skills, right? From design to manufacturing, variety of skills are required. I think the government has come up with a very good apprenticeship program, which, again, it's a complicated procedure where you have to go through a tedious process of getting apprentices. But then there are subsidies available there. But if you get the apprentices, you train them and then either employ them in your organization or then look for new apprentices in subsequent years. So skill development is a big challenge which we need to overcome. This is one of the programs which we have been trying to use for the apprenticeship training.
Thank you for sharing that. Vivek sir, you're okay.
I think the first thing is our training institutes like ITI, APTR, YPTR, they need to upgrade themselves, okay? So that they can transfer the knowledge to the youth. In addition, as you said, there are government schemes and apps and other things whether you take the apprenticeship and you train them and they become trained, that is available. But it is at the pace at which the whole thing is moving, we are still at a lower pace. I'm coming back to again and again that we have to increase the pace of doing the things for meeting today's challenges.
Okay. I'd like you to repeat what we spoke about this before the panel about how do we attract people to this industry.
That's correct. How do we attract? Most of the engineering students, irrespective of mechanical, civil or electrical, electronic, they are going to IT industries. They want to sit in an air-conditioned room with a table job working at the computer. Today, a lot of manufacturing industries are also changing very fast. I mean, as he mentioned, it's one of the best clean environment and the totally isolated kind of a tool room and the all facility there. So, as a manufacturing industry, we need to follow that IT trend that we have to attract the people, we have to give them the challenging job, we have to give them a good canteen. I mean, many industries in the past, they used to have a canteen for operators and canteen for management. Why two separate canteens? Everybody should eat in the same canteen. So, that makes everybody comfortable for that. So, definitely we need to improve upon the cleanliness, hygiene. I mean, there are even toilets for workers and the management. They not be separate. It has to be the same. Then only the people really get attracted, and they will. You have to give them the challenge. You have to give them the growth opportunity. Then definitely it is going to be there. As Mr. D.K. Sharma presented, from 15-17% manufacturing from out of the GDP of 3.3 billion. It is going to be 25% of the 5 trillion economy GDP. So that is the whole manufacturing industry will increase, or the potential will increase 3 times of what is today. So definitely the there is a potential. In one example, slightly for IT industry, after 40, your experience is not complete. You get a fresh blood with the same technology, applying and doing that. Whereas in manufacturing industry, as you grow, your experience definitely count more. So you have the more advantage in the manufacturing industry.
Thank you so much for sharing that openness of a non-technical point of view. What is it?
Yeah, when I look at it from my perspective, Puruk is highly capital intense industry. Even before we invest crores of rupees on the machinery, first thing what we will get is who is going to operate this. So that's one big challenge, and I'm sure Mr. Hari and he's making good use of this platform to connect between academics and the industry. So still there is a gap, but yeah, there are many institutions which are helping us to fill that gap.
Thank you so much for sharing that point of view. So I would like to summary on what we've seen so far in the first session. What we are trying to understand was the entry into what else apart from automotive, and we already had the votes on medical, new technologies, emerging technologies like EV and hydrogen. Medical, of course, was unanimous. Toys was the next one, which is a very interesting area to look at, and it would follow a very big gap on the business, the consumption of the end product. Apart from that, we have already discussed here, and what the office panel has shared with us, the versatility that you need to incorporate into your business model. So the infrastructure is not too different if you are going from automotive to a non-automotive sector, any of the new sectors. And that's good news if you're making notes. Another, of course, is that we already have in motion, although Vivek says opinion is it's slow, but there's already in motion government assistance in terms of enforcing certain compliances about where the business should come from. At the same time, programs like skill development and others. So on my part, I think we have to this information right now to take our next steps and study and research a little bit more, I guess.
Very wonderful. Yes.
Quite engaging.
Yes.
And let me tell you, when we started this program, one of the person whom I contacted was Amar. Amar also is having a band. He was doing band during his college days, but when in between job, he left. COVID helped him to bring the band name is Andaheen. And he's a great storyteller, and we are all storytellers, like So I was told only one thing: when we are going to do this program, you need to perform. And he spoke Daniel, another from Master Cap, sirs, they are all together, So, but unfortunately, we were not able to do that. So he's a great storyteller, and people like him bring lots of new energy, new thoughts. Thank you, Anand. May I request Dr. Arvind Patel to please come and give the Changemaker books. Yogesh to please come and give the gifts to the